All right, everyone. It's week 11, Westside Fantasy Premier League. I just want to give you the quick update. Just had a script stop on me, but anyway, last week I went 4-2 in my picks. Miles went 5-1. Got me on that one, Miles. For the year, I stand 25, 16-1. Miles is at 29-25. I'm at 5.95%. Miles is at 5.37. And Matt Weeble, Los Inadoros, is 11-12-1, 4.58. So it's not too late. Well, it's almost too late to get into the league pick'em. But right now, Miles got a little bit better win percentage, total wins than I do. But I have a better win percentage, and that's what matters. All right, so let's take a look at the results from last week. Smell this beat. Brother is Michael performed well below his projected of 126 at 88 points. I was pretty much even, projected to do 121.6. I did 121.2. Philip Rivers did a pretty good game against Denver. Got going late. It was in the third quarter, and I checked the stat tracker, and I had 2 points from Philip Rivers in the third quarter, so thank goodness he found some rhythm. A.J. Green with 15, Randall Cobb with 15, Calvin Johnson with 18, and in my San Diego defense for 15. Brother gets 36 out of Romo, 14 out of Michael LaShore, but paltry numbers from Julio Jones, 3.3, but 12.3 out of Roddy White. Roddy must have got all the attention that day. Ferocious Fennec against Passing and Fancies. This is father against son. Father takes it by the slimmest of margins. It looks like it's less than 3 points. What's that? 2.4 points. 132.9 to 129.5 in favor of the Passing Fancies, who moved to 5-6. Cam Newton gives Jim 35. He gets 10 out of Demaryius Thomas and Michael Turner. 25 out of Rob Gronkowski and a broken arm. He's done for the season, I think. Certainly, I think he's done for our regular season. Well, we'll see. But yeah, he broke his arm. Des Bryant at 20.5. Ferocious Fennec is 37 out of Andrew Luck, but 0.6 out of Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes fame. 14 each out of Trent Willis, Trent Richardson, and Vernon Davis, who had a great game against the Bears on Monday night, who looked pathetic. They are a 7-3 team that looks like that plays like a 3-7 team. At least they did on Monday night. The one who knocks against O.G. Rogers. This is again a pretty close game. A 9-point win for Phil, who moves to 8-3. Matt Stafford 27.8 below his projected. In fact, Phil was well below his projection of 138 with his 117, and he only gets 0.5 out of Deshaun Wrong Way Jackson. O.G. Rogers, Robert Griffin III with a great performance, 52.4, 16.8 out of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis in the losing cause for the Rodgers. Rough the Passer versus Autosmack. Autosmack, who's having a pretty good season all along. Are the wheels coming off, guy? I'm not so sure. 7-4 you slip. And Rob, don't count me out. Feinstein moves to 5-5-1. We'll get to the playoff picture in a second, but Rob is clawing his way back in. But this win was an impressive win, 126.1 to 74. Matt, even with 0 points out of Dwayne Bowe, Rob still manages to put together a pretty respectable performance. 43 from Peyton, 14 from Doug Martin, 22 out of T.Y. Hilton. And on Autosmack side, Matt Ryan was well below his projected 19.8 is what he put up. He was expected to put up nearly 40. And in fact, with the exception of Jonathan Stewart, Guy did not have any players in double figures besides Jonathan Stewart and Matty Ryan, and then no players above 20. Not going to get it done, Guy. Just not going to get it done. All right. Ghetto Superstar versus the Dark Side. 134.8 to 111.9 win. Miles playing above projected. And Darkside. Who is Darkside? Oh, Darkside is Mike Quan. Darkside playing below potential, 129. Tom Brady with 51 though for Mike Quan. Eric Decker with 8. Felix Jones with 11 and 16 out of the Atlanta defense. Ghetto Superstar gets only 33 out of Aaron Rodgers. 11 out of Jamal Charles, and Denario Alexander was the big surprise on the day with 21.6. And in our final game, the beatdown puts it on Los Inadoros to the tune of, come on, Yahoo. Not Yahoo, this is Time Warner right here. This slowness. 141.7 for John to 128 for Matt. John gets 43 out of Josh Freeman, 15 out of Brandon LaFell, CJ Speller with 13, and 30 out of that New England defense. Man, you got to love defensive scores, right, John? Drew Brees with 39 for Los Inadoros. Vincent Jackson with 17.4, 24 out of the Green Bay defense. All right, so this week we've got no teams on buys. In fact, we're done with the buys. No more of that jockeying around. Now you can settle in and count on all your players being there. So we're done with that. We do have 3 games on Thursday. We've got the traditional Detroit game, which is against Houston. We've got the traditional Dallas game, which is against Washington. And then on Thursday night, we've got the Patriots visiting the Jets for a great interdivision rivalry. So we have 3 games on Thursday. So let's take a look at our standings. We had a little bit of flippy flop in the overall order, and we've got 2 teams that have already clinched their playoff spots. Here it is in order, 1 through 6. The One Who Knocks is the number 1 overall team at 8-3 with 1,436 points. 4. Ghetto Superstar is number 2 at 7-3-1 with 1,344 points. 4. Both those teams have locked playoff spots. Number 3 is Auto Smack, who's sliding a little bit. He's now at 7-4, 1,488. Number 4 is the Beatdown, 6-5 at 1,356. Number 5 is Smell This at 6-5, 1,253. Number 6, Rough the Passer, 5-1 at 1,405. Man, 1,270 to 1,405. The indignity, huh, Rob? Any rate, number 7 is Passing Fancies at 5-6 at 1,330. Number 8, Brother Is 5-6, 1,414. Number 9, OG Ollie Rogers at 5-6, 12-12. So we've got we stopped playing. So we've got week 11, week 12, week 13. We got 3 more games. Our regular season concludes then. We start the playoffs in week 14. The teams that don't make the playoffs, you'll still have kind of a consolation bracket going on. So you'll still have games. Adjust your rosters and stay engaged and all of that. But then the 6 teams that do make the playoffs, you'll play weeks 14, 15, and 16. We don't play week 17, the final week of the NFL season. I call it the Phil Flores rule. It had to do with a long time ago when playing with Phil, and he had Peyton Manning, who had long since locked up a playoff spot, as I recall, and sat that last week, knocking Phil out of any kind of contention to actually compete in the championship game. So it's the Phil Flores rule as far as I'm concerned. We don't play in week 17. Looking at week 12 in our lineups, matchups, Smell This versus the Dark Side. On paper, this is 116 to 101 in favor of Drew. Phillip Rivers right now against Baltimore. I may rethink that. I've got Eli on my bench, and he's against Green Bay. I don't know. We'll see. Phillips is doing okay for me lately. Reggie Wayne against Buffalo and A.J. Green against Oakland. Calvin Johnson against Houston. Randall Cobb against the Giants. Tom Brady against the Jets. Decker against Kansas City. Wes Welker against the Jets. Reggie Bush against Seattle for Mike Kwan. I'm going to give the pick to Smell This because, I think I'm all that, and I think I deserve it. I really do. So, Smell This, Smell This will beat Darkside. So, Ferocious Fennec at 3-8 versus Los Inadoros. Right now, it's 127 to 106 in favor of Matt. Key matchups, Drew Brees against San Francisco, at San Francisco. Vincent Jackson at Atlanta. Rashard Mendenhall at Cleveland. Jordy Nelson at the New York Giants. That's for Matt. For Jake, Andrew Luck against Buffalo. Mike Wallace from Cleveland. D'Angelo Williams from Philadelphia. Trent Richards from Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Los Inadoros. Besides Luck, I'm just not a fan. I guess I should like Mike Wallace, but I don't because I don't like 60 Minutes. Ha, that's two 60-minute jokes in one update. You guys, this is good material right here. One Who Knocks versus Passing Fancies. Rob Feinstein against Phil Flores. 8-3 for the One Who Knocks. 5-6, and now playoff eligible. Passing Fancy. I think Rough the Passer. Anyway, this is Jim versus Phil. On paper, it's 137 to 112 in favor of Phil. Phil's got Stafford against Houston, LaShawn McCoy against Carolina, Frank Gore against New Orleans, Deshaun Jackson against Carolina, Cam Newton for Passing Fancy against Philly. That could be interesting. They are a team in disarray, to say the least. Michael Turner against Tampa Bay and Stevan Ridley against New York Giants. I'm going to give the pick to Passing Fancies. The reason being, I'm doing a little reverse psychology again on Phil here. He's a playoff team. He's seated hiring me. He must lose. He must lose. Brother Is versus Rough the Passer. Mike Hutchinson versus Rob Feinstein. Rob is now playoff eligible, as we like to say. 5-5-1 for Rough the Passer, 5-6 for Brother Is. But this game's got a lot riding on it. Mike could vault himself into that sixth position, knocking Rob right out. On paper, it's 133.99 for Mike, 122.64 for Rob. Key matchups: Tony Romo against Washington, Julio Jones against Tampa Bay, Ray Rice against San Diego, and Michael Shore against Houston. Those are two tough defenses there. At least one tough defense there in that Houston defense. San Diego no slouches either. Peyton Manning for Rob the Passer. Rob the Passer. Rob the Passer. Peyton Manning against KC. Doug Martin against Atlanta. That's a tough matchup, but Steven Jackson will make up for it against Arizona. I'm giving my pick to Rob the Passer. Ghetto Superstar. Save my pick. Ghetto Superstar versus Auto Smacked. Two playoff teams, 7-3-1 and 7-4. If Miles hadn't screwed up with that stat correction, he would be a 7-4 team too. Aaron Rodgers against Giants for Miles. Brandon Marshall against Minnesota. Michael Crabtree against New Orleans. Jamal Charles against Denver. Tough defenses all the way around. Matt Ryan gets Tampa Bay. Torrey Smith gets San Diego. Ryan Matthews gets Baltimore. And Arian Foster gets Detroit for Guy. I'm going to pick Guy on this one. It's 7-4. I just like the matchups better. Nothing personal, Miles. You know it's nothing personal between you and me, Miles. You know that. OG Ollie Rogers versus the Beatdown. So this is Tommy McCarthy versus John Foreman. And if Time Warner ever decides to provide me some connectivity, that'd be good. 122 to 119, very close on paper, but it's in favor of Ollie Rogers. Robert Griffin III against Dallas. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis against Oakland. Chris Johnson against Jacksonville. All of those are plum matchups for the offense. Beatdown, 6-5. Josh Freeman from Atlanta. C.J. Spiller against Indiana. And who else? Jimmy Graham against San Francisco. I just got to go with Ollie Rogers. I just think his defenses, the defenses that he's facing from his key players, are soft. All right, so that's the way it's going to play out. You heard it here. You can just bank on it. You got 3 games on Thursday, so get your lineup set. We still got 3 more games to play in our regular season. There's still plenty of football to be played. So hope you have fun. Hope you enjoy Turkey Day. I hope you enjoy the USC annihilation of Notre Dame, knocking them right out of that playoff, that championship game. It will make Notre Dame's season. Been talking a lot of smack to my family. They're all Notre Dame fans. I don't know where I went wrong. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. See y'all. Bye.